All right, yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I know we've been away for a bit. Now we're back. You see 2 shows minimum a week. Got myself Shat with Tobias. It's Tottenham Spurs. Tobias, can
Yeah.
Spurs win the league?
Yeah,
Listen. I don't listen. Spurs have always been that team that never wins. I don't really class them as a big club, but the way Andrew's got them playing, and the biggest factor for them is they only play 1 game a week. They're at the cup already. They literally just have to train and prepare for each team for a whole week and just go out and do the business. Can the unthinkable happen? If Leicester can win it, Spurs can.
I thought we was out of the Leicester era now. I thought that wasn't feasible. Imagine no, they can't. If they win it and Kane leaves, that's a joke.
You can't make that up in it.
Kane's forgotten real quickly. Levy's that living legend. But you can't even say they've really splashed the cash either, really.
No, not really.
They haven't. Like he's brought some sort of off the cuff players. Done his business, gone about it, done well at Celtic, obviously. Everyone can say everyone does well at Celtic or Rangers. But the football he's been playing immediately, this is the problem I've said many times that I have with United. It's like, how can he implement the style so quickly? And like you've seen them play today, they're just popping it out defense like nothing. Like, what's going on here? Yeah, like comfortable Bazuma looking like a beast. Like
back to Brighton ways.
Lo Celso, he's got him making cameos. Maddison's just rolling back the years because he sort of went off at Leicester the last year or two, sort of fell off a bit for whatever reason. But yeah, man, they all look hungry.
Putting Son up front, changing with Richarlison and putting him up front.
Son up front and captain.
And can't stop scoring.
And like just flying at the minute. But I don't believe that they can do the challenge. You say 1 game a week. I suspect they're going to want to go far in the trophies, even though they're out of the League Cup already.
So that's what I'm saying. They're out of the League Cup. They're playing. They're out of the League Cup. They're playing 1 game a week. They're basically just preparing for each team each week. Players are fresh. This is what happened with Arsenal. I know Arsenal didn't win it, but that's what basically happened. I know Arsenal had the Europa League, but that wasn't taken seriously. They actually prepared 1 game a week, and they went close.
It's a shock factor as well because teams are not set up for it at the minute. They're not set up for the new style. They're not expected. They're still probably still prepping for Kane. That's how deep it is. Do you know what I mean? Stop Kane. That's it. That was the only mantra when he was there. So yeah, it's interesting.
With Ange, I think few things have gone into place. I think Harry Kane leaving, I think that was the best for everyone. Harry Kane needed to leave because he's too good. And I think for Harry Kane leaving, it gives Ange time to implement the style he wants. He's a pressing manager who wants to press all over the pitch. Kane doesn't really press. So it's kind of a blessing in disguise. So the fans now have to give him time because their best player's gone. They've brought in 2 managers where really them 2 managers kind of done Spurs a favor, if you know what I mean. They were kind of too big for Spurs. And it still didn't work. Yeah. And it didn't work. So now Ange I think he's coming at the right time. And if you look at his record, I know it's not been in the massive clubs, but he's won everywhere he goes. He's a winner. Like it's like a goal scorer playing in the lower leagues. They can score goals. That's the one thing they can do. They might not done it at the highest level, but one thing they can do is score goals. And I think with Ange, he's shown his record that he wins every club he goes to.
He speaks well. He carries himself well. He seems honest. Probably blessing for Tottenham because, as you said, the other 2 managers, their expectations for what they wanted to bring in probably differs major from sort of Ange. I think he's more happy to be there rather than the other way around. I think he's happy to be there just to prove himself in the Premier League at the highest level because coming from, was it Japan he was in?
Yeah.
And then Celtic obviously done what he done there with a lot of Asian-based players.
Yeah.
So it's decent as well. Ain't gonna lie. Done what Brendan done basically. Picked up a bigger job than Brendan really.
Yeah. 100%.
So yeah, it's I think everyone was concerned from the Tottenham perspective when he first come in. They didn't know where he was going to go, but you knew from the first couple of games with him pre-season that all the fans were talking about their style of football. I didn't believe he was going to be able to transcend as quickly as it has. I thought there was going to be a lot more mistakes, but there hasn't. For going from the two managers that they had previous as well, it's a total different brand of football. So to be able to just seamlessly transition like it, and he's added his own bit of flair into it. All
Fair
credit,
play.
you got to give him credit, man.
100%. And I think, like you were saying, I think it's, you look at the system, the way they play. If you're an attacking player, you want to play in that system because the wingers are high up the pitch. They're direct. They want you to get in the box, put balls in the box. As a striker as well, if your team's playing attacking football, and especially Son's always been a good finisher with both feet. And it's just a bit of a masterstroke, just putting him through the middle where he doesn't have to do as much running. Just plays the 18 width of your 18-yard box. And with Maddison there sliding him balls in, he's going to score a lot of goals.
But there is an argument though that these players are confidence players.
That's what I was going to get onto.
Son and Maddison, very confidence-esque players, aren't they? They go on like
streaky. They're streaky players.
Streaky type players. So when it is going bad, it's waiting for the response. Obviously, they're yet to lose. They've had a couple of good results. And yeah, until it goes bad, you can't really judge it. And they're going to have a sticky patch. Yeah. And that's where Arsenal come unstuck in a way. Because they had their sticky patch quite late, and then it was too late to sort of recover. And with them being streaky, if Son goes a period of time without a goal, or Maddison goes on a drought, do they have the backup to come in? I know we mentioned this also.
Well, that's what I was saying. So I was going to come on to that. So basically, I was going to say they are streaky type footballers, and they're hot streaky players, a bit like what's his name, Watkins at Villa. They're streaky players, will get goals in bunches. But my problem is they're 3 or 4 injuries away from being 6th or 7th. And I think for them to even just to get Champions League, is that everyone's got to stay fit. Son's got to get close to 30 league goals. And Maddison's got to get 15 assists, 12, 13 goals for them just to make top 4 for me.
To be fair, I reckon looking at what's around them, you're looking at top 4. They're looking like favourites for top 4.
No, listen, Tobias, I believe this is the most exciting Premier League I've seen in my lifetime, in a sense of not in quality, but I look at 9 teams now, and they're saying 5th spot now could get you Champions League.
Yeah, competitiveness.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
like 6 teams or 5 teams. Really.
But that's what I'm saying. So from Man City, not even say you're looking 8 teams fighting for 4 spots, because Man City have got 1. But even from Chelsea, I think they could look at 5th minimum. You guys 5th, 4th minimum. I look Brighton, all these other teams, Aston Villa. I think teams are going to beat each other now. I think the other teams, the teams that are below the tops, Newcastle, the teams that are below the traditional top 4, the Liverpools, Arsenals, Man United, Man City, Chelsea. I look at the clubs below them. There ain't that much difference. There's players in their side that would walk into a Liverpool, a Man United, a Chelsea, an Arsenal. So I think the gap's closing.
The gap's massively closing because we've spoken about the standard dropping anyway. So with standard dropping and you're buying players in and around the same ability, then you're always going to have this. You're going to have it being as it is now. But they are. If you catch them on a bad day type of team, then yeah, it's problems. Look at Villa. Villa got done by Newcastle. What 4-5s?
I think Newcastle are good.
Yeah, and I think Villa are good, but they've got that in them, that capitulation within them. You know what I mean?
So have Brighton gone.
So Brighton, they've lost, and they've lost by a big margin. It's not like small margins. When they lose, they're like
They lose
United at
big.
the minute.
Yeah.
Tools get downed, and it is they pick it up and go again the next time. A loss doesn't affect them that bad. I will give them that, regardless of how big it is, because there's not as much sort of media attention on it. They can afford to lose the 5s, the 4s, and they're not being. You lose that at a bigger club, then that's weeks. You're speaking about that, and it's high on everyone's agenda. But yeah, the big clubs can't go to these teams now, and it's not a foregone conclusion because you've got the sleeping giants now coming back. You've got the Villas. Villas always been a big club.
Yeah, massive club.
They've always missed something. They've got a bit of money, and they've got a good manager, very good manager. From how it's turned for them as well in such a short period. From he's doing bits.
100%.
Emery's like one of the most underrated managers out there because he says good evening wherever he says.
Yeah.
that is it. And you know, after the game the other day, he said it as well. Yeah, I had to laugh. He's like, "Come on, bro." You know,
he's doing it on purpose now. He's trolling. No, he's trolling people now. He's trolling on
I
purpose.
was like, no, you can't be saying it. But things like that you can get trolled for easy. But yeah.
What
But
Villa last bit? Villa have won 11 consecutive home games in a row
games.
now.
Yeah,
they're tough at home. You take a point all day if you're going there now.
Luis is looking like a problem.
Yeah,
He's looking like he's trying to play now because the RB's there looking for his spot. So that's probably what he needs in the competition to get him going. They look strong. They look strong. A lot of the teams, as you said, man, there's not much difference. You're not looking at any team now, and you really, bar the obvious is really, and saying that I'll take 4 or 5 players out there.
Yeah, straight.
You're not really. It's not that bad anymore. So yeah, it's a sticky one.
Tell the truth, that's back to the good old days. That's how it used to be, when you lose 5 or 6 games and you still win the league.
But it's more for the Uniteds. This is where United have got to look at it and look at it and be like, we've slept for so long, and we've slept for that long that so many teams have caught us up now, and potentially bypassing us. It could be a sticky one to get back.
All right, last bit. Do Tottenham get top 4? Do they fight for the title, or do they get top 4? Yes or no?
I reckon they get top 4. I don't reckon they fight for the title.
I don't think they'll fight for the title, and I don't think they get top 4.
You don't think they get top 4?
Nah, because I think they're just a few injuries away from being 6th or 7th. But they've had a good start. I like the manager. They play good football, and fair play to Tottenham. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back on Thursday every week now. At minimum 2 shows a week. Tobias, to leave a last word. Talk about Manchester Derby on Thursday.
Everton deserve a replay.
I love VAR. We are Real Tilt Football TV. We are out.